exhausts you the most is not what you have done, but what you have not yet finished. Things left incomplete, loose ends, those quiet promises of "I'll do it tomorrow" hanging in your mind like a teapot set on the stove, the water already boiling, yet no one has poured a cup. Tonight, if you are here, perhaps there is also within you an unfinished cup of tea like that, and this story does not come to make you finish it. This story comes only to whisper one gentle thing to you. Tonight, you are allowed to stop. You do not need to complete anything more. Now, if you can, lie down. No perfect position is required. Just a position that lets you feel a little less braced. Pull the blanket up a bit higher. Dim the light. Let the room grow quieter by one soft beat. Then, place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, breathing slowly, as if you are breathing in the scent of a familiar kitchen on a rainy night. Breathe out a little longer, as if you are breathing out the whole of today. That's good. You don't need to do it better. Just keep going. Breathe in, breathe out. With each exhale, allow your body to grow heavier just a little. Not from fatigue, but from being set down. Bring your attention to the top of your head, the place that may have held so many thoughts all day long. Thoughts of responsibility, of unfinished tasks, of things you should have done, and now imagine a very gentle warmth touching the top of your head. Not hot, just warm enough. That warmth slowly spreads across your forehead. Your forehead softens. Tiny lines of tension are allowed to dissolve. Your eyes, if they are still trying to stay open, they no longer need to. Your eyelids close naturally, like standing in a familiar kitchen under soft yellow light. With nothing left that needs to be seen clearly, your cheeks soften. Your jaw does not need to clench. Your tongue rests gently in your mouth. Breathe in, breathe out. Your shoulders. Those shoulders have carried enough for today. They carried work. They carried thoughts. They carried things left unsaid. Now, let them drop. Drop down. Drop a little more. As if someone gently places a hand on your shoulder and says, "It's okay. Not tonight." Your arms grow heavier. From the upper arms, down to the elbows, down the forearms, all the way to your fingertips. Your fingers do not need to hold anything. No phone, no plans, no to-do lists. They are allowed to open, to release, to rest. Your chest rises and falls very gently with your breath. No need to breathe deeper. No need to control it. Just let your breath find its own rhythm. Your belly softens, completely soft, like when you finally sit down after a long day and no longer need to hold yourself together, no longer need to appear strong. Breathe in, breathe out. Your hips, your thighs, your knees, everything is allowed to grow heavy. Your calves relax. Your feet, both feet resting against the mattress, clearly feeling the support beneath them. Nothing is falling. You are being held. You are safe. Your whole body now feels as if it is being placed inside a warm cocoon. The bed does not demand anything. It does not ask how much you accomplished today. It does not ask what you are missing. It is simply there, holding you. Breathe in, breathe out. If thoughts drift in, that's okay. You do not need to push them away. Just notice them and let them pass, like steam rising from a teapot in the night. Some things can wait until tomorrow. Some thoughts can remain unfinished. Tonight, you do not need to stay alert. You do not need to decide. You do not need to complete anything. You only need to be here. In this quiet, listen just a little more closely. Perhaps you can hear a sound far away, very small, like water gently simmering somewhere. Not rushed, not urging, just steady, patient. That sound does not ask you to get up. It does not ask you to pour the tea right away. It simply reminds you that some things continue gently in your life. Even when you stop, and you're allowed to stop, breathe in, breathe out. Your body now feels heavier, but it is a comfortable heaviness, like sitting down in a familiar kitchen late at night, soft yellow light trembling gently, rain falling outside the porch, and knowing for certain that no one will need anything from you for the next few hours. You have arrived somewhere safe. Stay just like this. Let the breath flow on its own. Let the body sink. The story will open slowly. No rush, like water in a kettle, quietly coming to a boil. And you only need to listen. Now, as your body settles a little more, let your mind do what it loves most at night, to wander very slowly to a place of safety. You do not need to get up. You do not need to leave your bed. Just let your imagination open a very small door, just enough for a cool breeze to enter. You are walking, not hurried, with no way you need to reach on time. The path beneath your feet is narrow and calm. Old stones, slightly damp from rain, not slippery, just cool. Each step feels steady, as if the ground knows you need support. The air carries a familiar scent, the smell of earth after rain, the scent of wet grass, something ordinary and real, reminding you of evenings long ago when time moved more slowly than it does now. It is dark, not a frightening darkness, but a gentle one. When everything is done, when the world stops asking. Above you, the sky is partly covered by tall trees. The wind moves through the leaves, not strong, just enough to create a soft, steady rustling. The sound does not demand your attention. It simply exists, like the background breath of the night. Breathe in, breathe out. Each breath blends naturally with the rhythm of the wind. The path leads you farther away from earlier thoughts. Unfinished tasks remain behind, fading like distant lights in fog. You are not abandoning them. They simply do not need to come with you right now. You keep walking, a little slower, a little lighter. Somewhere ahead, there is a light, not large, not bright, just a warm yellow glow, quietly existing in the darkness. It does not hurry you. It does not say, "Come quickly." It simply waits, as if accustomed to welcoming the tired. As you draw closer, you hear a small sound. Not voices, not machines. Rain. Rain falling steadily on a porch roof somewhere. Not heavy, not fierce, just small, persistent drops, as if the rain itself is whispering to the night, "Slow down, slow down." The sound softens your chest even more. You stand before a small house, old stone walls, dark roof tiles, nothing luxurious, nothing showy, but one feeling is unmistakable. This is a place people return to after a long day. The wooden door is slightly ajar. Warm yellow light spills through the crack, trembling gently in the wind. It is not harsh. It is like a kitchen light late at night, not meant for work, only for being still. You do not need to knock. No one asks who you are. You step inside. Inside is a small wooden kitchen. The floorboards are old but clean. A wooden table stands in the center. Small shelves line the walls, holding familiar objects that have been there for a long time, as if they have never been in a hurry. The air inside is warmer than outside, not stifling, just warm enough to make you breathe more slowly. In the corner, on the gas stove, a kettle is gently simmering. Softly, softly, the sound is steady and patient, like the heartbeat of the house. It asks nothing of you. It simply exists, reminding you that some things continue. Even when you sit down and do nothing, the scent of tea is faint, drifting through the air, not strong, not sharp. The scent of dried tea leaves meeting hot water, the scent of ginger, a distant hint of cinnamon. These scents do not pull you into any single memory. They create only one feeling. You have been safe somewhere like this before. You pull out a chair and sit down. The wooden chair is not too soft, but solid. It holds you in place. It does not let you drift away. It does not force you to sit up straight. You sit, just sit. Outside, the rain continues to fall, drop by drop on the roof tiles, then onto stone below. The sound never rushes, never asks how much you still have left to do. Breathe in, breathe out. Your breath is slower now, a little deeper, a little lighter. In this kitchen, there is no ticking clock, no notifications, no one calling your name, only warm yellow light, the sound of rain, and the quiet simmer of water. You do not need to stand up and pour the tea yet. You do not need to drink it. You do not need to complete any ritual. Just sit here and let this space hold you. If a thought tries to slip in, let it wait outside with the rain. It may be there, but it does not need to enter. Inside this kitchen, everything is slow, slow like steam rising and dissolving into air, slow like a light, gently trembling without going out. You realize, here, no one measures you by how much you have done. No one asks why things remain unfinished. Here, you only need to be present, and that is enough. Sit a little longer. Let the rain fall for you. Let the kettle simmer for you. Let this kitchen keep the rhythm of the world, and very slowly, very softly, the story will come to you. No calling, no welcoming needed. It will arrive like the scent of tea spreading through the night. The night has grown very deep, not the depth of heavy darkness, but the depth where unnecessary sounds have withdrawn, where the world stops demanding, and only what is most real remains. Outside the porch, rain falls steadily on old roof tiles. Not fast, not strong, just one drop at a time, patient, as if the rain itself knows there is no need to hurry tonight. Inside the small wooden kitchen, the yellow ceiling light trembles gently with the breeze through the window crack. Not bright enough for work, but warm enough to sit still. Warm enough to breathe more slowly. Warm enough to not feel alone. Eleanor sits there. She sits very still, both hands resting lightly on the worn wooden table. No phone in her hand, no clock to watch, doing nothing at all, as if this is the first time today, or in many days, she has allowed herself not to complete anything more. On the gas stove, the kettle simmers softly, softly, softly. That sound was steady, familiar, almost invisible. It did not call her to stand up. It did not urge her. It simply existed like the heartbeat of this kitchen, slow, enduring, and undemanding. Outside the porch, the rain kept falling. The sound of rain touching the roof tiles and sliding down created a gentle background melody, repeating without any climax. Eleanor had heard this sound many times in her life, but tonight it was different. Tonight, it did not make her think about the things she needed to do tomorrow morning. It was simply there, like a very soft embrace from outside. She stood up, bare feet, stepping onto the cool wooden floor. Her footsteps were very quiet, as if she did not want to wake anything that was sleeping in this house, including herself. Eleanor opened the kitchen cabinet. On the shelf, a pale blue porcelain teapot rested quietly. The blue had faded with time, the glaze marked with tiny hairline cracks. She touched it gently. This teapot had been with her through many winters, through the years when she was a student, far from home, through nights when she sat alone in a cold apartment, studying and working at the same time, afraid and hopeful all at once. It was a gift her mother had sent from Vietnam, along with a very short handwritten note. When you're tired, make some tea. Back then, Eleanor had smiled. She thought she was still young. She thought she could endure it. She thought tiredness was only a passing feeling. She placed the kettle on the stove, poured in the water, turned on the gas. The water began to heat up very slowly. Nothing was in a hurry, as if this kitchen had never heard of the word deadline. Eleanor took from a small jar a few black tea leaves, a slice of fresh ginger already cut, and a thin stick of cinnamon. as she dropped them into the kettle. The aroma began to spread through the air. It did not rush in. It did not take over. It simply drifted gently, like an old friend entering the room without knocking. The scent of tea, the scent of ginger, the scent of cinnamon. These scents did not pull her into any loud memories. They carried only one feeling, that she was in a safe place. Eleanor pulled out a chair and sat down. Both hands rested on the table. Her back slightly curved. Her shoulders relaxed. She did not hurry to pour the tea. She did not hurry to drink. She simply watched the kettle boiling, watched the thin steam rise, curl softly in the yellow light, and disappear. There was a time when I thought I had to finish the whole pot of tea before I was allowed to sleep. The thought appeared very softly, like a whisper from the past. In the past, whenever she made tea at night, Eleanor always brewed a full pot, a large one. She placed it beside her computer. She drank sip after sip to stay awake, drank to stretch the work a few more hours, drank to keep going with the numbers, the spreadsheets, the unanswered emails. Some nights, the tea cooled on the table without her even noticing. Some nights, she collapsed beside the teapot, her hand still on the computer mouse, as if letting go would make everything fall apart. Back then, Eleanor believed this. She was only allowed to rest when everything was finished. But tonight, there was no computer on the table, no paperwork, no vibrating phone. The kitchen was clean, tidy, empty in a comfortable way. Jamie, her 7-year-old son, had gone to sleep early. Before falling asleep, he had turned to her and said softly, "Mom, today was a good day." Eleanor had stood at his doorway, watching him sleep, and for the first time in a long while, she believed it was true. She poured the tea into a cup. The dark amber liquid flowed out, swirling gently before settling. Steam rose, touching her face, her eyelids, her forehead, not burning, just warm, like a hand resting lightly on her skin. She took a very small sip. The tea was hot, slightly bitter at first. Then a gentle sweetness spread at the back of her tongue. The cinnamon passed through, distant and familiar. It carried images of rainy afternoons in Hanoi when she was younger, with fewer responsibilities, sitting in a small cafe by the lake, holding a warm cup of tea, and thinking that the future would be okay. "I was so afraid back then," Eleanor whispered, without sound. "Afraid of not having enough money, afraid of not being good enough, afraid of not being strong enough to raise her child alone, afraid that if she stopped, everything would abandon her." She had run very fast, for a very long time, with great effort. She believed that if she ran far enough, fast enough, she would reach a safe place. But it turned out some safe places are not ahead of us. They exist right in the moment. We allow ourselves to stop. Eleanor set the cup down on the table. The teapot was still nearly half full. She looked at it for a while. There was no regret, no feeling that she needed to finish it. You don't need to complete everything in a single day. This thought did not arrive like advice. It came like an obvious truth, gentle as the rain outside. Some pots of tea can be left to cool. Some tasks can be left as they are. Some nights, it is enough to sit quietly. Listen to the rain and let your heart grow a little lighter. Eleanor leaned back in her chair. Her hands rested on her thighs. She breathed in deeply. The scent of tea still lingered in the air, in her hair, in her old sweater. That warmth blended into her breath. Inhale, slowly. Exhale, longer. Her heartbeat slowed. The thoughts that had once crowded her mind moved farther away, like chairs being stacked neatly in the corner after a gathering has ended. Outside, the rain continued to fall, but now the sound was like a lullaby, not for children, but for adults who had lived through many long days. Eleanor stood up and turned off most of the kitchen lights, leaving only a small amber glow on the shelf. Enough light to avoid stumbling. Enough light to not lose the way, but not enough to think any further. She passed by Jamie's room and gently pushed the door open. The boy slept soundly, arms wrapped around his stuffed bear, his breathing steady. Eleanor smiled, a smile that did not need to be seen. In her own room, she lay down on the bed. Warm blanket, soft pillow. Outside, the rain still fell, but the sound was farther away now, as if whispering from a very safe place. Helena closed her eyes. "Thank you for trying so hard back then." She said it silently. "Thank you for the long nights. Thank you for the cups of tea never quite finished. Thank you for the moments when continuing felt impossible. Because of all of it, she realized this. I don't need to finish everything today to deserve rest." The warmth of tea blended into her breath. Her breath slowed. Her body grew heavy, and very naturally, sleep began to arrive. And then, very softly, very naturally, everything began to blend together. Eleanor lay still on her bed, the blanket pulled up to her chest. The yellow hallway light spilled into the room as only a faint trace. Outside, the rain continued, but the sound was farther away, softer, as if it too were drifting into sleep with her. Eleanor's breathing slowed, more even, deeper, and somewhere very close, very real, you are lying like this as well. There is no need to imagine much. Just notice that your body is also being supported now. The mattress beneath you, the blanket covering you. The space around you has quieted, just like the room in the story. The boundary between Eleanor and you begins to blur. There is no clear moment, just a very gentle shift, like when the kitchen light slowly goes out, and you can no longer remember exactly when it happened. You are no longer watching the story. You are inside it. You are lying here, just as Eleanor was lying, after a long enough day, after a pot of tea not quite finished. Outside the porch or outside your window, there may also be rain, or perhaps wind, or perhaps only the deep stillness of night. Whatever it is, the sound is doing the same thing, slowing everything down. Inhale, exhale. Your breath and the breath in the story are no longer different. You may still have a few thoughts drifting through, small fragments of today, an unfinished task, an unfinished sentence, but they are no longer sharp, no longer demanding. They are like lights turned down low, still there, but not needing attention. No need to think anymore, no need to remember anymore. The kitchen from the story, the wooden kitchen, the yellow light, the softly boiling kettle is no longer far away. It is the warmth spreading in your chest now, as if you have just left it, set the teacup down, and walked straight into your own bedroom. The scent of tea still lingers, not clear, only faint, but enough to slow your breathing a little more. You no longer need to imagine Eleanor's face, no need to remember her name. Those details begin to dissolve, like thin mist fading as night deepens. Only the state remains, the state of someone who has allowed themselves to stop, who has allowed themselves not to finish everything today, who has allowed the tea to cool. Your body now feels heavier, but it is a comfortable heaviness, like sinking into a familiar chair, or like someone gently pulling the blanket up a little more without asking. Inhale, exhale. With each exhale, thoughts fade a little more, fainter, fainter, not disappearing all at once, just no longer important. You do not need to solve anything. You do not need to prepare for tomorrow. You do not need to organize anything. Tonight does not require you to be anyone other than yourself. No need to think anymore. No need to remember anymore. You can feel this very special moment clearly now. The moment when waking and dreaming begin to touch. Not quite asleep, but no longer fully awake. Like sitting in a kitchen at night, yellow light trembling softly, rain falling outside the porch, and for a moment you forget what you were doing, not because you are tired, but because you are at peace. You are in that exact moment. Your breathing has slowed so much that you no longer need to count. It finds its own rhythm. Your body knows what to do next. If any images appear light, kitchen, teacup, let them come and go. No need to hold them. No need to push them away. Everything is working with you to carry you into sleep. No need to think anymore. No need to remember anymore. Even these words may begin to drift away. You do not need to listen to each one. Just let the sound be there like rain, like wind, like softly boiling water. You do not need to understand. You do not need to follow. Just remain still. Your body now feels very heavy, very safe. There is nothing waiting for you to do. Like Eleanor, you have returned to your bedroom. The lights are off. The door is closed. The outside world has paused. And very slowly, very softly, the door to sleep opens. No need to think anymore. No need to remember anymore. Only breath remains. only warmth, only one very simple feeling. Everything is okay. Let yourself drift on. No need to hold on. No need to control. Sleep is right here. Now, there is no more story. No kitchen to look at. No teapot to think about. No characters to follow. Everything has finished the work it needed to do. Now there is only you and the night. Your breath continues to move in and out, very softly, very evenly, as if your body remembers how to breathe from nights of deep peace long ago. Inhale, no need to be deep. Exhale, no need to be long, just enough. Enough to remain still. Outside, if there are any sounds left, let them be there. Perhaps rain, perhaps wind, perhaps only the thick stillness of night. Any sound is fine because it does not need your attention. It only needs to be with you. Breath out, in. With each exhale, it is as if a small light inside your mind is dimmed by one more notch, not turning off right away, just softer, darker thoughts, if any remain, are slowly retreating, like guests leaving after a long evening. No need to see them off. No need to remember what was said. Just let the inner room become empty, quiet, spacious, safe. Sleep now, not immediately. No need to force it. Just no need to stay awake. Your breathing now has found its own rhythm. Your heart has too. Everything in your body knows what to do when it is allowed to be still. Sleep deeply. If a faint image drifts by yellow light, warmth of tea, rain on the porch, let it pass. Do not hold it. Do not push it away. They are only gentle traces of a day that has closed. Everything is peaceful now. There is nothing waiting for you to handle, nothing you need to decide, no one needing you to stay alert any longer. Tonight, you have done enough simply by lying here and breathing, breath, light, even. Sleep now, sleep deeply. If you notice this voice fading, that is a very good thing. You no longer need to hear it clearly. You do not need to follow every sentence. Just let the sound remain like a thin blanket covering awareness. Everything is peaceful. Your body now heavy, warm, held. There is no clear boundary between you and sleep anymore. Only a very gentle drifting, very soft. Sleep deeply. If you wake in the morning with a lighter feeling, even just a little, remember that tonight you gave yourself a very rare gift. Rest without needing a reason. And if, when you wake, you remember this place, you may return. Tap-like, follow the channel very gently, like a quiet morning greeting to yourself. And now, no need to think anymore. No need to remember anymore. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Everything is at rest now.